Ron? Where is Ron right now?
Ron is right here. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You know, we see so much speculation. There's so much speculation out there about John Travolta leaving Scientology, distancing himself from Scientology. We see this about John. We see this about Tom Cruise. And I've addressed this on this channel before. I did a video about a week ago showing John promoting Scientology again recently, in some stuff having to do with Hurricane Ian. But you know what? I found a short video. It's only 5 minutes long, and it contains some of the most obvious, popular, and common reasons why people speculate that John is in the process of leaving Scientology. And I figured, you know, why not just take them up one by one? So let's just jump right into it.
Next to Tom Cruise, John Travolta has arguably been Hollywood's most notable Scientologist for decades. Since joining the church in 1975, Travolta has been vocal about the religion's impact on his life, especially after his son Jet died in 2009. He told Us Weekly, "It's the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. The church never left our sides for 2 years. I don't know if I would have made it through without their support." Such was Travolta's devotion to Scientology over the years that he even adapted church founder L. Ron Hubbard's 1982 novel, Battlefield Earth, into a film in 2000, which was reportedly a passion project of Travolta's for nearly 2 decades. Despite its widespread reputation as being a pretty terrible movie, Travolta defended Battlefield Earth to the Daily Beast in 2017, expressing zero regrets.
Damn right, rat brain. That's the first intelligent thing you've said yet.
According to the Daily Mail, speculation that the actor distanced himself from Scientology began after wife Kelly Preston died from breast cancer in July 2020, and Travolta took to Instagram to thank MD, Anderson Cancer Center, and other medical centers for helping Preston with her treatment. The Church of Scientology is reportedly against its members seeking certain kinds of medical treatment, such as chemotherapy.
Oh, I know this isn't the point of this video, but I really should jump in here. It's completely false that Scientology is against chemotherapy. Part of where this comes from, there's some truth, the kernel of truth relating to this, is that Scientologists' beliefs about what they believe to be the mental and spiritual cause of disease does cause them to seek to cure illness using Scientology before they will seek to cure illness using medicine. And this does get conflated oftentimes to mean that Scientologists are against medicine and whatnot. And it's just, I just think it's a good opportunity to go on the record on it. Even Scientology Sea Org members, I'm personally aware when I was in the Sea Org of Sea Org members who were getting chemotherapy for cancer. And when John came out and thanked the physicians who had treated Kelly, some people took that as a sign that, oh, if John and Kelly were seeking actual medical treatment, that means they must be distancing themselves from Scientology because they're doing something Scientology wouldn't want them to do. So it's a common misunderstanding. It's just not true. I do, however, believe that Kelly probably did not get diagnosed until it was way too late because of her over-reliance and John's over-reliance on trying to cure the cancer using Scientology auditing, which obviously is not going to work. Okay, let's see what else.
In Touch also made the claim in February 2021 that Travolta's post took direct aim at the church, declaring him, quote, free after 45 years, despite a spokesperson denying that he severed ties. Now in August 2021, a particular real estate sale by Travolta has kicked up such rumors again. Location is everything when it comes to real estate, as they say. In that case, John Travolta might very well be ending his days as a Scientologist for good, or so wondered the New York Post after Travolta sold his mansion near the Church of Scientology's headquarters in Clearwater, Florida for $4 million in early August. As the Post points out, the sale of the property, which is only a mile from the Scientology headquarters in Clearwater, comes just over a year after Kelly Preston's death at the home.
So, about John selling his Clearwater home. John lives in Ocala, Florida, and he flies his planes everywhere. Ocala's like a 2-hour drive. It's probably like a 10 or 15 minute plane ride. And one thing that people should keep in mind is that the big Church of Scientology here in Clearwater, called Flag, or the Flag Land Base, has giant, gorgeous 5-star hotels specifically designed to cater to people like John Travolta. I actually thought it was weird that John had a house 1 mile from the Flag land base. Because if I were John Travolta and I was coming to Flag, I would probably just want to stay in the penthouse at the Fort Harrison Hotel and have Sea Org members waiting on me hand and foot for free. John having a home in Clearwater, especially so close to the base, probably had more to do with the fact of his family. And that when you come to the base, if you're going to be maybe staying for a couple months, you don't want to be necessarily living in a hotel, and it's probably more comfortable for a family. And I'm going to guess that that home just probably had a lot of memories of Kelly, and perhaps there was some pain associated with the memories of that home, and that it was just no longer needed. And if we consider that Kelly has passed and John doesn't have another significant other, and when he comes to town, he will be coming either by himself or maybe with some of his children and just himself, and that perhaps it would even be more comfortable and more reasonable to stay at like the Fort Harrison penthouse instead of, you know, at a home or whatever. Now, this is all speculation. Everything I'm saying is speculation, but what's not speculation is that John selling a property in Clearwater should never be confused with John leaving Scientology. There's no reason to connect those dots.
Whether he is ditching the religion or perhaps merely leaving some bad memories behind, Travolta stands to make a profit from the sale, having purchased it for $3 million in 2017, according to property records. His former home also boasts neighbors such as fellow famous Scientologists, Tom Cruise, who owns a downtown penthouse, according to the Post, and Kirstie Alley, who owns a multi-residence waterfront compound. Following Kelly Preston's death, former Scientology members have been outspoken in their belief that John Travolta is breaking away from the church, according to the Daily Mail. As fans and friends speculate over Travolta's future with Scientology, the church's other uber-famous member reportedly isn't pleased, according to Australian tabloid New Idea. A source told the outlet, Tom Cruise and John Travolta have always tiptoed around each other, but they really got into it when Tom recently was informed that John was pulling away from the church. Though the sale of Travolta's $4 million mansion...
I don't believe a single one of these anonymous quotes to the tabloids. It is true that Tom and John are not friends per se. Tom Cruise is very tight with David Miscavige, Scientology's leader, and John Travolta simply is not. A part of this has to do with John's sexuality and the embarrassment that has caused from the viewpoint of Scientologists. It is an embarrassment to have headlines and articles and accusations coming out about John and his sexuality. Scientologists very much look down on being gay. They think that is something Scientology should fix in people, and John is someone who's done a lot of Scientology's bridge, and to have things come out about his sexuality to Scientologists makes it look like Scientology doesn't really work, or John Travolta, if it doesn't work on John Travolta. Also, the Battlefield Earth movie was a giant embarrassment. I'll share an unpopular opinion. I thought the book was fantastic. The movie was utter garbage. It was a huge embarrassment. And, Mark Headley, former Sea Org member from Scientology's international base, tells a story of Tom Cruise calling Dave specifically to complain about how Travolta had really screwed up. And it was a real black mark for John Travolta. So it is true that John and Tom aren't tight, but there's no one, the whole thing, once Tom was informed that John was pulling away from the church, that's pure fiction. There's no one that close to Tom who is also speaking to the tabloids. Let's see if they've got anything else here.
In Clearwater is fueling rampant reports of a possible Scientology break. It's still unclear what this signifies. According to the Ocala Star-Banner, the actor still owns a private residence in Ocala, Florida, which is a 2-hour drive from Clearwater. As the newspaper notes, it's a unique property situated in Jumbo Lair, an exclusive gated community complete with an aircraft runway. Jumbo Lair is capable of accommodating planes as large as a Boeing 737, allowing Travolta, a licensed pilot, to fly in and out of the home at his leisure. Furthermore, Variety writes that Travolta owns an additional home in Calabasas, California, which is just a 45-minute drive to Los Angeles, home of another Scientology enclave. Though his Clearwater property was certainly the closest to a Scientology center, Travolta still seems to have multiple avenues of connection with the church. Whatever decisions he makes about his faith are also difficult to know based on real estate alone. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even
Yeah, so there you go. Those are the most common items that people speculate about. And for sure, I too was hoping, thought there could be a chance that now, that after Kelly had passed, that John would kind of gradually and quietly distance himself from Scientology, mostly because Kelly was more of the real fervent believer. And also because if I were John, I wouldn't want to be part of an organization that looked down on me. I wouldn't want to be surrounded by people who were spying on me and snitching on me to Scientology, which is 100% what is happening. John has Scientologists who work for him. All Scientologists are required to turn in reports on each other, even secretly and confidentially. The Scientologists who work for John, when they go in to Flag or any other Scientology organization for their next auditing level or whatever, they're going to be interrogated about things relating to John. Things, whether they've observed anything that would violate Scientology's rules of conduct. And that's just how it works in Scientology. And if I were John, I would be sick of that by now. But anyway, I posted a video last week showing John Travolta promoting Scientology and their volunteer ministers and doing a big photo op propaganda piece for Scientology, pretending to help Hurricane Ian victims. So it doesn't look like John is leaving Scientology anytime soon. All right, everyone, that's all I have on this. I'll be doing a Q&A live stream tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Turn on notifications if you'd like to join me for that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe